Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. It's from a guy, he's 32 years old, sounds like he lives in Eastern Europe somewhere, and he's going to share his story about events that happened over the last couple of years with a now ex-girlfriend. And let me tell you guys, this guy makes all the mistakes that I tell you in all the other videos and stories and all that not to do. He makes them all, like giving his girl money when he certainly shouldn't have and didn't know her that well, letting her move in, all these things, and to no surprise, it ends in disaster. And this guy definitely deals with a lot of BS. However, he eventually goes through enough BS that he learns his lesson, turns things around, kicks her to the curb, and now he's doing great, and she's back in, the gutter where she belongs, in my opinion. But this is a great teaching story, guys, of what not to do, and also how a guy can learn from his mistakes and come out on top, because the guy's doing really well now, understands what went wrong, and he's sharing the story to help you guys out so that you younger guys in particular, or hell, guys any age, a date and relationship, won't make the same mistake he does. And it also shows guys that he's on the other side of the world. You know, I'm here in Massachusetts, here in the US of A, he's somewhere in Eastern Europe, and guys make the same mistake all over the world. So you're not alone. For you guys that are still learning or made mistakes and feel like morons, don't worry. Plenty of guys make mistakes, but you all can learn and improve. So, starts off, he says, Hi SSM. I've been watching your channel for a few months now. Sorry for grammar mistakes, but English is not my native language. Your stories helped me understand a few things and made my situation a lot less complicated and better. My pleasure, brother. I'm glad I could help. For clarification, I'm a 32-year-old male, and my ex is a 31-year-old female. I started dating my ex about 4 years ago. We have known each other since 2005, as we had met online but never seen each other in real life. We had separate lives but kept in contact, talking about music and hobbies. In 2016, I broke up with my fiancé. Things were bad between us, and she had expectations I could not provide and crippling depression she wasn't willing to take care of. Well, you know what, dude? That's good. It's good that ended, because if she had bad depression, which can happen to anybody, but unwilling to deal with it, take action, that's going to impact you. So it's good you got out of there. Unfortunately, you're still learning, and you ended up with the next train wreck. He says here, so I ended it to start to take care of myself. I bought my own apartment with cash thanks to unexpected inheritance, and inflation in my country keeps money unprofitable, so I decided on this step. In that year, I finished my master's degree. After renovating my place, I spent almost half a year with my thoughts, barely speaking to anyone. That was truly therapeutic. Okay, master's degree, bought your own apartment, you're on the right path. However, when it comes to the ladies, you need work. Then we started to talk with my current ex. I was in her city as a witness on my friend's divorce settlement, took a random selfie in front of the courthouse, and set it at my profile file on Facebook. She saw this and we started to talk. One thing led to another, and a month later I was in her rented room. I saw a few red flags, but because I was an idiot, I ignored them. Translation, you want to get laid. You want to get some ass. So therefore you do like, oh, no big deal. That's okay. She'll be different with me. Or something like that. Or who cares? I'll hook up with her a few times maybe and I'll walk away. Wrong. One thing led to another, blah, blah, blah. She constantly talked about a guy that she had a friends with benefit relationship with, but he dumped her. Her longest relationship lasted only 3 months, and she had a very bad family situation. Okay, these are very bad signs. Big red flags. The only relationship she's able to have at 30, close to 30 years old was 3 months. What does that say about her? What does that say about how she is with guys? And the last one was a friends with benefit relationship. She's not stable. And you said her family life is a little messed up too. Or you said, no, very bad family situation. These are all signs to run, gentlemen. Okay, and maybe you might think, I'll hook up once or twice, and then I can run. Yeah, well, usually a lot of guys can't handle it. Beautiful woman, they hook up with a few times and they're hooked. And you think, oh, well, maybe she'll change for me, or I'll be different, or she won't pull that crap with me. Bullshit. And watch what happens here. He saw the signs. He ignored them. But Lots of guys do that too, so, can't give him too hard of a time, but if he keeps making this mistake, that's something else. He says here that she was a bigger woman, but that doesn't bother me as I like it this way, and a few more. Okay, you like the big girls, you like some extra meat on the bones, some junk in the trunk. No problem, to each their own. And he says, at first, it was a windy road. She lost her job, so I sent her money. Smack. You ignored all those red flags. She loses her job, and you're sending her money. You're barely dating this woman. Why are you giving her money? That is a classic nice guy shit. She can figure it out. She obviously got this far in life. You think, did you get this money back? Gentlemen, do you think that he got this money back? No. And I guarantee in her mind it was like, well, I repaid him in other ways. You know what I mean. He says here, as I started a new well-paying job, I did it so she could take care of herself. Instead of buying groceries, she ordered something on Uber, and that made me quite angry. She tried different jobs, but could not stay at one no longer than a few weeks. So, as a true idiot, I proposed to her to move into my place. Smack. Again, you barely know her. Remember that ex-fiance you had? They mentioned earlier you left her because she had a lot of depression problems and other things like that. So you went from one person that obviously was needy and had issues and needed fixing to another one. You noticing a pattern here? Right? I'm sure there's plenty of girls out there that would like you, that you're attracted to, that do have their shit together, can keep a job, don't need your money, don't come from a messed up family. Sounds to me maybe you like to fix girls. And people that go around in life trying to fix people end up miserable because it doesn't work. So as a true idiot, I proposed to her to move into my place, take a month or two off to find work in my hometown. And after about 4 months of the relationship, she was living in my place. Smack. 4 months. The only reason you're going to do that is if you guys have been together so long and everything's so good and you're thinking about marriage, then maybe it's the final trial run living together. That's why you do it. There's no other reason to do that. And again, what do you think's going to happen here? She's got to milk him for everything he's worth. I learned the hard way not to rush things and not to ignore my gut. I was working. She was gaining weight due to the lack of any activity. I was paying for everything, cooking, taking care of all things while she was in my apartment. She was there in my apartment playing Sims all day. Our intimate life was terrible. She had difficulties with reaching the finish line and was very frustrated because of it. She even said to me a few times we should focus on her during fun time because I would finish anyway. That was more than discouraging, and the first time any relationship, I was willing to take care of things myself. In other words, he wasn't getting any, so he had to take care of himself. So let's review. She has no job. She's a total mooch. You're paying for everything. She's getting fat because she's just staying at home doing nothing but playing Sims all day and eating. And now things are slowing down in the bedroom. What a great deal. What are you possibly getting out of this business deal here? Nothing. Smack. But he knows this, and I respect he's sharing his story. And it will get better for him, but he has to go through a lot of bullshit to learn his lesson. Anyhow, he says, there was a set of rules, set of positions, requirements about time. It was more like duty than pleasure for me. She became more frustrated. I, more distant over time. She has no education, and my parents offered to pay for her trade school for her. Smack to your parents. Now your parents are joining in on this insanity of paying for her. What are you or them getting out of this? Nothing. You said she's a big girl. You like the bigger girls. I'm hoping she has the most beautiful face to look at. Or something. Or she's great at doing certain things when she actually does it. Because God almighty, dude. They offered to pay for school to let her settle and have a profession. We lived in my hometown for 3 years. I changed the job for a better one, not so prestigious, but a well-paying career, but it was enough for me that I could provide. If we had all her time at different jobs, it would not even make a full year. I always wanted to move north of the country and live by the sea. Better career options, prospects to thrive. She wanted to move back to the city that I took her from, but agreed that we both needed better jobs. She needed any job, to be honest. I took a well-paying work as a delivery driver, long hours, 6 days a week, but great money. She jumped from job to job. I was barely at home because I wanted to have financial security. Bro, again, here's the part where I respect you. You're a workhorse, and I like workhorses. You're busting your butt. 6 days a week, long hours, but you make good money. The problem is, you have the weakness for women. But I know how this ends, so, you learned your lesson, but honest to God, dude. She started going out at nights to friends, as she said, since I was mostly sleeping or working. I was worried, but had no evidence that it was a lie. I knew she had a few girlfriends in town from her school years, and I decided to wait. Well, you should have kicked her to the curb a long time ago, and God knows why you didn't, but you're obviously one of these guys that need to fix women. But you were never around, so it's no surprise she eventually wanted to venture out. I'm not justifying it because she's an a-hole, but you're never around. But obviously it seems like you didn't want to be around her to begin with. But once they start going out at nights and doing girls' nights, we all know what happens there. All crashed down when she lost her job on the 4th of December 2021. Her nights out became more often. My days at work became longer as I had to work for two. At the same time, our government changed the way of taxing work, so I lost approximately 15% of my paycheck. I had a difficult time, and it was all on me. It's all on you because you allowed it to be all on you. You brought this on yourself, my man, okay? There was no reason you had to keep doing this. Okay, she wasn't your wife. And you were getting nothing from this arrangement. See, guys, but a lot of guys put themselves in situations like this. I mean, what the hell? I had a difficult time, and it was all on me. I worked from 4:30 in the morning to sometimes 8 o'clock at night. I tried to make some money for us to survive until she would find a new job again. She was jobless for 4 months. 4:30 in the morning, you're getting up and starting your day, coming home at 8 o'clock at night because you need to take care of both of you? That's bullshit. She is a freaking moocher. She's a lowlife. Kick her ass out. When she walked out on the 2nd of May this year, I opened my computer and decided to check the history browser. Well, thank the Lord she left, and found that she was visiting dating sites. There's a freaking surprise. I managed to log into her email and profiles on the site, and it was mostly an auto log of her old password she uses everywhere. She was shit-talking me in front of random dudes, telling them that as soon as she gathered some cash, at the time she was working at that point for a month, that she would dump me. That she wanted someone to touch her boobs since I wasn't doing it. And he says in parentheses, and when I tried to initiate anything, she would stop. That I was more like a brother to her than a love interest. That I would not agree to triangles. She means 3 ways. Most of those guys are about 5 years younger than me. Some of them landed in her WhatsApp. So you're the horrible boyfriend, and she only sees you as a brother. Meanwhile, she's been using you all this time. There you go. She's looking for some other sucker to take over. I took a bottle of rum, made screenshots, sent to her, and said that she's free to be touched by those guys as a free woman. I told her I expected payment for one room of our rented apartment, and as she paid less, to take my dog on morning walks. Dude, I would not trust this woman with your dog. Not a chance in hell. This is your dog, bro. I'm an animal lover. I wouldn't trust any crazy woman with my pet. Never. I hear you saying you got to rent a room to her, and I know you have to do it because she's on the lease, which, smack. But walk your dog, she could have spite just whoosh, let go of the leash, and your dog goes running away, never see the dog again. No, don't ever do this. I'd opened one of her dating sites and saw that she told a few of the guys that things messed up, and he found out. I could not close the door as her name was on the rent too. That's what happens when you put them on the lease. We'll let that lease run its course and get her out of there. She wasn't home on May 3rd and the 4th. I went to work. I felt terrible. I thought I had no friends. I was in a situation when I had to rewrite my whole life's plans again. When she finally came back, she tried to tell me that it was nothing physical and she did not touch any of the guys. Yeah, sure. I felt mostly angry. So I told her that she's a free woman and does not have to excuse herself in front of me. I decided to wait until I got calmer. That was the best decision ever. I told her as long as she pays, she can do whatever she wants in her room with anyone. She tried to talk to me, and by that time, she was talking to some other guy on the phone. I did not want to talk with her. The guy was banging her in her room by May 9th. Nothing physical, my ass. Of course she's hooking up with other dudes. And as you said, at that point you were totally done with her, but she's still in the lease. So you're like, okay, fine, you're on the lease. You're going to pay me for this damn room. And of course she had a guy that was nailing her right in that room, I might add, on purpose, just probably to try to stick it to you. But he was sticking it to her. So I decided, fuck it, I would do Tinder. So you could find more trashy girls. Come on, dude. And by the end of the week, I had about 50 to 60 matches with 21 to 26-year-old girls again. She tried to talk with me like nothing happened, so I decided to play this game. I learned that her new boyfriend is 26 years old. He's jobless and rents a room in his friend's apartment. That same friend said he is in an open relationship with his wife, and it's a shame I don't do triangles. Her new boyfriend, NB for short for now, has an old car he got from his brother and had a car crash that first day. She tried to find him a job at her uncle's business, but when he found out how they met, let's just say she has no family in the city now. Most of her friends do not want to talk with her when she tells them the whole situation. So her friends want nothing to do with her, her family wants nothing to do with her. What does this say? She's trash. And she's roping in some other sucker, but the sucker sounds like a Chad and Tyrone bad boy who doesn't have anything to his name. You see what I'm talking about, bro? Do you see what I'm talking about? You said there were red flags in the beginning. Right there. You put up with this shit all these years. But people have to go through so much crap till they finally realize and wake up and make a change. On the second night, she bursted out of her room at night yelling at NB that it's not only about his pleasure, that she does not want to do it all by herself, and that's how things are. She can always come back to me, as I know at least I know how to make her finish. I was laughing my ass off in another room. I was already talking to other younger girls. She came to my room about half an hour later and asked why I had folded a couch. I told her that there is enough room for me and the dog. She left after that. And now we have the current day. Her NB, her boyfriend, has to work in Serbia to make some quick money as she found out he has some debts. Of course he has debts. They're constantly arguing. She wanted to threesome. Her idea was that she could make out with a girl and the guy would take care of himself in the corner and watch. NB told her that he would have some action too, and her face dropped. This is really like daytime TV. To clarify, she talks loud on her phone, mostly on her speaker. Her life is a mess, as she changed her job again. She has literally nothing, just NB, and did not leave it that night on the 2nd of May, when I learned the value of that excuse of the man. His, as you can see, English is off. Try my best here, guys. He says, I found a girl 9 years younger than me. We're learning from each other, taking things slow. Hallelujah, finally learning to take things slow. Good. Take all the time you need, brother. I don't want you making the same mistakes again. We see each other exclusively now, but gave each other time to decide if that's what we really wanted. She's doing her bachelor's degree and working at the local florist shop. She takes care of me. I take care of her. I sleep in her place most of the week, as she, when she learned about my ex's situation, does not want to see her. Good, you're taking care of each other. That's how it should be, not the one mooching off the other. She showed me all her social media and told me that she does not have any male friends and she prefers to hang out with girls. We have similar kinks, similar needs, and agreed on similar values. I do not need to be with anyone to be happy, but she brought a lot of joy to my life. And after breaking up with my ex, I suddenly have a lot more money for myself. I learned that I have more friends than I thought. Imagine that, all of a sudden you have all this money again. All those years, all that money you wasted on that mooch, that leech. But if that's what it took for you to wake up and see reality and how there are people in this world, not just women, but people that will gladly suck you dry, take advantage of you left and right, then it was worth it. But don't you dare make the same mistakes twice after the story. I'm going to fly to your country and slap the shit out of you. Honest to God. He says, so yeah, I learned the hard way. Keep your places separate, at least for some long time. Don't give any girl to cross your boundaries. For a man in his 30s, dating is easy. I work physically, so I'm in good condition, earning good money, and planning to buy an apartment in the city. Sorry if all this was chaotic, but it's been a long time since I used English. Keep strong, guys. Keep your boundaries, and don't be afraid to be alone. If you're not happy with yourself, you will not be happy with another person. Absolutely, brother, and I'm glad things ended right. Like I said again, if you make the same mistake twice, I'm going to fly to your country and slap the shit out of you. I will track you down. I will make it happen. But anyhow, bro, I'm glad you're doing well. And again, with this new girl you're with, and good job. Congratulations. She's younger, she's prettier, and it seems like she has her shit together. She's a purpose herself. Bachelors, take your time with her. Do not rush into anything. Do not give her money. Okay? Any woman that puts you in a position where she asks you for money or is manipulating it so that you volunteer the money, that's trouble. But you definitely, your track record shows you are the type of guy that's a fixer. They look for lost causes and fixer-uppers to be that hero, that white knight. Don't be that guy, because it all ends the same. So guys, a lot of lessons here in this story about the red flags, not giving with money, giving women money, moving in with them, all these things. Again, as I say, if you're with a girl for a long time, and I mean a long time, and you see that her family's normal, she has a good relationship with family, she has a job that's steady, she makes her own money, she's giving, takes care of you, supportive, cool, good communication, all these good things, you might think you want a future with her and maybe move in because you want to get married. Maybe you're traditional, even though you know my opinion on marriage. That's the only reason, in my opinion, to move in with a chick. That is the only reason, the final test. But remember, even then, they can put on a freaking act. So you got to be careful and take your time. There's no rush. A lot of guys say they want to have kids, but guess what? Guys could easily have kids in their 40s, shit, their 50s if they want to. Okay, it's a little harder the older you get, but it can be done. It's better to wait and have the right one than just rush into things. So good story here. Good that you're on top, and good to hear she's back in the gutter where she belongs. And the second that lease expires, get out of there. Get a new apartment. Have nothing to do with this chick. And I guarantee you, she's going to keep coming back into your life because she's going to see you as the guy that can solve all her problems and fix, because that's who you were. So be careful. The second she's gone, block her and everything. Have nothing to do with her. So, and maybe even leave that apartment of yours early. I don't know. Something. Figure out a way. Talk to somebody that's a little experienced, and hopefully, man, you can move past this shit. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. And, guys, if you got a really good story like to share, I don't care if it happened last week or it happened 17 years ago, email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Again, I don't care if you live here in the States with me, on the other side of the world. I love getting emails from dudes all over the world because it goes to show what I talk about happens everywhere. And it really can help guys in different countries, cultures, religions, you name it. So we're all here for each other. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.